All right, I want to clarify something for you guys. When I was excited, when I yelled, "Third try, baby!" it's not because I did 8:15. In fact, 8:15 is very underwhelming to what my personal best all time is, and that's 9:10. So it's not the weight that got me a little hyped, right? It was the fact that I knew I could do it, and I did it. And the fact that I was excited was because I failed the first 2 times. Now, here's the reason I believe that I failed the first time. My warm-ups felt a little bit harder than yesterday. Not a lot harder, but a little bit harder. Like a weight that felt easy, I believe it was 710, felt easy when I warmed up with that yesterday, so I knew 800 was there. And then 710 today felt, I mean, I had a grunt. I maybe popped a couple of blood vessels in my face. So that got me doubting myself, but I figured, you know what? It's the tunes, it's the adrenaline. I'm just not as excited right now because, you know, I'm not getting back into the 800s. Like I've broken that barrier. So I think that was the main factor. And then I turned on some tunes, and I'm telling you guys, like my heart rate, it was the adrenaline, the fact that, okay, it's go time, it's ready to hit this. My adrenaline was through the freaking roof, right? Combination of some coffee, some pre-workout, and then some good old tunes, right? I mean, I thought I was gonna pass out before I even lifted the weight. So I was like, wait a second, I gotta breathe. I gotta calm myself down, otherwise I'll stroke. So I had to calm myself down, and then I figured, okay, now I'll go for it. But I just calmed myself down. I wasn't using the hype and the adrenaline, the excitement to lift the weight. So that definitely threw me off. And then the second time was starting to get in my head, and I tell you guys all the time, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. It is a mindset. If you doubt yourself for a second that you can't lift the weight, you won't lift the weight. I'm talking about if it's challenging. If it's easy, light warm-ups, like, I don't know, maybe I'm not feeling good today. Of course, you're still going to lift it. But once you get into that challenging intensity, like if you're thinking, oh, maybe my hands aren't right, maybe my feet aren't right, maybe I'm, you know, maybe I need more recovery, right? Anything like that. You know, maybe I shouldn't do this today. You're not going to be at your total best because you got to be all in mentally. Physically, yeah. Physically, you're there. I firmly believe that if you're doing, 1 or 2 exercises a day and you're doing very low reps and very low sets too, you're going to recover. You're going to recover. It's just a skill. It's just a simple movement pattern to lift something up and put it down. Over time, yeah, eventually you'll burn out, right? If you did that for weeks on end, yeah. But 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, I think you'll be fine. Unless you're really pulling with Snap City form and then something's wrong. That's I can't stress enough how you should avoid that. But if you lifted 10 pounds lighter the previous day and it was like, okay, that wasn't too bad, you should have more in the tank. And if you believe that you can do it and you're excited and you're driven and motivated and enthusiastic to do it, you'll do it. But again, like I said, if you're doubting for a second and something doesn't feel right or anything like that, you're not going to do it. And that's exactly how I was yesterday too, for 800. And or 805 it was. And I just did 815 today. So why was I doubting myself yesterday? Because I clearly have more in the tank. You know what I mean? I'm getting greasier and smoother and slicker with the lift, but it's also just polishing. It's greasing the groove, right? You're getting the groove nice and greasy, polished, smooth. I can't stress that enough, guys. And that's where the excitement came from, was because I proved mentally that I can do it. And here's something to really just put it into perspective. As I was saying, with the 710 wasn't bad. 670 the first time I went for that today for the warm-up set, I failed the first time. And I didn't know what it was. And it was because I was doubting myself, and I was saying, maybe this isn't the right, maybe I need a day. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe, you know what I mean? But as soon as I failed, and then I got in the second time, and everything's the same. It's not the setup or anything like that. I got in the second time, and I was like, man, like when I was driving, leg driving, and I was like, no, of course I can do this. And as I thought that, of course, this is within a split seconds in your mind, then it comes up. So it is such a mental game, lifting heavy weight, that you have to be all in mentally. You have to be all in mentally. And I wanted to make a video on that just to explain, because remember, it's not about the weights, right? It's about the energy, it's about the focus, it's about the enthusiasm, it's about the excitement, but more than anything, it's about the confidence. And I've been saying this now for 4 years. No, 5 years now. Total confidence. You have to have total confidence. And I said this in 2015, I believe it was. Whether it's drink your coffee, drink your pre-workout, do whatever you got to do to get locked in mentally, because that's when you're going to peak. And I'm not talking about peaking through a program. I'm talking about just being at your best, at your peak in the workout. It's being in the zone. That's all it is. That's what it is. It's just being in the zone. If you're not in the zone and you don't have a positive mentality, you're not gonna be at your best. And I wish I had that mindset back when I was an athlete. I tell you, when I was competing, high school, college, because man, like, it would have made all the difference. You know, I was relatively successful, but a lot of times I doubted myself and I didn't do rituals. And that's just the biggest thing that's changed from age, 22, 21, 22, 23 to age 32, You grow up fast, boys. You got to make the most out of your life, right? You only live once, and a lot of us are, at our primes physically, in terms of being young lads, young gentlemen. So it's just, you got to make the most out of it. And I think I've made a separate video on this, but it comes down to rituals. You have to have a ritual that helps you lock in and be positive that you're doing the right things. You're exactly on the right track to be a little bit better every single day. Otherwise, you lack focus, you lack direction. And it's funny because anytime I make videos like this, everything I say for lifting, it goes hand in hand with life as well. If you wake up at random times, you go to bed at totally different times, whether it's, you go to bed one day at midnight, another time you go to bed at 4 a.m. or something, you're totally out of whack. And then how are you going to be at your best? Then, you know what I mean? Like, this not necessarily applying to lifting. Of course it's going to affect your lifting, but more so just affect your life, right? So, I mean, that's just a little thing, going to bed and waking up. But then eating, consistency with eating, that's something else I've been really bad about. And I'm trying to finally hone in on what's the best time to eat and what to eat before lifting too, because sometimes I have so much energy, right? And just so much more strength than other days. And it's like when I'm working out at the same time and I'm drinking the same pre-workout, or I'm drinking coffee this day or anything, and it's like, what's the difference? And it's just all the little things. But it's not even so much that, okay, well, I have energy, I have fuel in me now, but it's again, 100 times over again, it's the mindset that you've done everything right, and that's why you're going to be successful. And I don't want to come across as cheesy motivational speaker, but it's just, these are things more than anything, because let's be honest, it's kind of depressing, but I've been around the same strength level for, I don't know, since 2014, I would say. Maybe even 2013. I did a backyard deadlift competition at Ford's gym in 2011, summer of 2011, I believe. And I deadlifted 640. So my best ever conventional deadlift right now is 675 with a bit of a hitch. So I mean, really, the strength hasn't changed that much, but it's finally improving again. And it's just the fact that, like, you just figure things out. And I think that's why even though you're a young buck, you're kind of peaked in terms of, like, your body's bulletproof when you're young and all that good stuff, but you just mentally just don't have it figured out yet. And I firmly believe that's why when you're in your early 30s, around that age, like, that's when men peak, because I think they just start to figure it out more. They get wiser. And I don't even know why I bother to give you guys my tidbits, but I just figured I would share that because, hey, I mean, I'm sure some of you are going through tough times right now and all that, and if just having good gym sessions can make you feel better, can make you you know, have a positive outlook on life or make you carry over to your daily life, then that's great. And I believe in karma too. So if I can help you, maybe in one way or another, I can be helped, and we can all help one another. So just a little ramble on that, and we'll see if that ends up being true or not, if I can keep progressing. But again, it took me 3 tries, and on the 3rd try, after the first set, it was like 10 minutes from my last warm-up to my first set, 10 minutes total before I tried the next set, and that was about another 10 minutes. So it was literally 20 plus minutes of 0 reps and just failing, yet it wasn't too bad when I got it. So you know what I mean? What made the difference other than, no, I'm doing this, and I'm locked in, and I know I can, and I'm gonna be confident, and I'm gonna black out, I'm gonna lift the weight because I know I can. Other than that, you know, compared to doubting myself and, oh, maybe my heart's racing a little too hard, or maybe I'll stroke. You know what I mean? Like, I'm healthy, you know, so I shouldn't be concerned about things like that. But regardless, this is a very long video now, so I hope you guys are all taking care in this time of crisis, and one way or another, you're making the best out of it. I know I'm certainly making the most and the best out of it. A lot of family time and a lot of gym time, and boy, oh boy, it's great to be able to just focus on my lifts again. I love it. Anyways, Ricky B reporting out. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And maybe take some of the advice that I just gave you. And maybe go make yourself a little better, right? A little tougher, mentally and physically. A little stronger willed. And you will have a fulfilling, rich life. What are we talking about here?